Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Tooele Happy Hour podcast starring Jared Anderson and David Weiss. Today's guest, Shelby Moore. She's running for Grantsville City Council, and she has competition. So she wants to get out there, tell you all about herself and why you should vote for her. Shelby, go ahead and take it away. Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Shelby Moore. I'm 28 years old. I've lived in Grantsville since 2013. That's when I met my husband and his two sons. I do have a son of my own, so we have three. And then we recently purchased 25 acres, so we have a nice ranch out here in Grantsville. I was born and raised in Utah, and I know how important hard work and the family values are to our community out here in Grantsville. I used to rodeo and show horses out here in Grantsville a lot, so I know the importance of that out here. I have worked for Salt Lake City Streets Division for almost 5 years. In that time, I have been able to get an insider's look of how a city runs. And in addition to that, I also sit and I'm a voting member on the Union Board of American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees. I'm also a member of the Salt Lake City's Public Services Employee Advisory Board, and I'm the Public Services Representative for Salt Lake City's Advisory Board. During my time at the city, I've worked with the city's budget, purchasing, and negotiating contracts, giving me the knowledge for the process of policy and budget amendments. And with my experience in the local government for Utah and Grantsville, if elected, I will ensure that Grantsville grows in ways that honor our family values and to make sure that our infrastructure and local businesses will grow and develop as our city does. So my goals are to create growth that will last well beyond my term as a council member.
All right. Well, that's a heck of a list.
Shelby, did you write that script for us?
I do have talking points just for me. I won't lie, I am a little bit nervous, but it's just to kind of help me stay on track. So just Good. That way I make sure I can hit all the points that I'd like to discuss with you guys.
Yeah, it's important to stay organized, especially when you're trying to communicate with the public on political issues, because you can get side-railed on this show really quick.
I can't imagine that ever happening. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you had to mention you focus on sustainable growth and future growth. What are some of your plans with that?
So as far as Grantsville goes, I would like to improve the community and the well-being and provide services. So we lack the businesses. We lack things for our youth to do. Yeah, we have parks for our younger youth, but we don't have anything for our teenagers and our younger adolescent children. And we can see that by the vandalism that they are causing. They're reaching out to us crying that, hey, we don't have anything to do out here in Grantsville besides go play at the new water park for 10-year-olds, 5 and 10-year-olds. Mm-hmm. So we need to grow those things. I want to ensure to provide the basic human needs, prevention of shelter and homeless or battered, women and children. I want to have a 24-hour safekeeping center where homeless people can learn about services to store their belongings in lockers and get mail. We do have that area where we may not, some of our community may be lacking resources, and we need to provide that for the children, especially when they're not in school. There are children that rely on that school lunch and that breakfast for their meals for the day, So we need to provide that for our community, and we need to make sure that we are promoting our businesses. I want to see a business growth in Grantsville. I'd like to see more support for small businesses. I used to be a small business owner in Grantsville, and it was difficult even getting a business license or approved and getting that from city council itself. It was rough.
Shelby, what kind of business was it?
I used to do car inspections at my house. So I went through UHP and got all the equipment and set that up, and then through Grantsville City as well.
Mm. How would you manage the say the school lunches or a lunch program through the summer, how would you manage that for kids? Where would that be done through?
So I know we have a small one in Grantsville, and I believe that's held at the fire station, but it's not promoted. I don't see it in Grantsville City's media on Facebook. We're growing in the media industry. We need to have those promotions and let people know. And also, when they're in school, towards the end of the year, we need to be sending out flyers and letting them know, and sending out flyers with the water bills or any bills that we send out, utilizing that to involve the community and get that word out.
Okay, yeah. All right. I don't know. That's I didn't know they had something at the fire station, and promoting that I think would be a good idea.
Go ahead.
I also wonder what the possibility of that being run privately would be, where it could be run much like the school program is, but could it be run privately for a small profit?
A child's lunch?
Yeah.
Like, what do you do? Make the kids wash dishes and pull weeds or something on the side? Or
no, just like the school program, the parents pay for the lunches. They pay a monthly stipend for the lunches.
I like the idea of kids having to earn their dinner.
Well, sure, if you want to be the one to babysit them, do not sign me up for that. I am not going to babysit kids in any kind of labor.
Yeah, well, I would.
Babysit one.
Yeah, but I think it's probably somewhere around. I don't know what do parents pay right now for school lunch.
I think it's like $2 a meal, so $2 for breakfast and $2 for lunch.
So you're looking at, on a 20 days, so you're looking at like $40 a month.
That's not a lot compared to like what I used to pay back in '96 when I graduated. It was like $1.25 a meal. That's like 3 more quarters than it was when I graduated.
Yeah, and that's not much. And then it gives the hard part, I think, is getting your children there. Where the school, they're compulsory through the state. How do you get your kids to the fire station?
Yeah, absolutely. I know Kidsville was actually walking the kids over there and taking advantage of that, and I thought that was great. Getting the kids out of the building and getting them over there. It'd be nice to see the older kids that don't have that access or that don't live that close. It would be nice to get the kids out again. The kids are stuck playing video games. They don't have a bike pass, or some of the roadways are just not safe with how big our growth is. We don't have that infrastructure for kids to be able to jump on their bikes like they used to, cruise wherever they wanted, and once the lights turned on, they needed to be home.
It wasn't all that safe back then either, though.
It was survival of the fittest.
Yeah, you survived.
I did. Miraculously.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of kinks to work through the city.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's federal money and grants out there that we can apply for and get.
I don't know if the money and grants would be the main barrier on that.
Maybe insurance?
No, participation. How do you get kids that live, say, in Anderson Acres or down Burmester to the fire station?
We need an ice cream truck.
There you go. And a hot dog truck.
Like a government ice cream truck. I like it.
Drives around ringing a bell, and the kids come running out for their hot dog.
They grab onto the side and they make their way all the way to the firehouse.
You feed them on site. But yeah, I don't know. That'd be a lot for you to work out when you get in there. But no, that's an interesting thought.
I thought it was great.
What do you have as far as commercial and industrial growth? What thoughts do you have on that?
We need that in Grantsville. I don't want it to be a Tooele Main Street or even a Salt Lake City Main Street, but we have surpassed our small town fill with the growth that Grantsville has. but we need to support and bring in the businesses for that tax revenue, and to be able to provide that break of taxes on homeowners. With businesses coming in, we're able to build amenities and activities and establish that for teens and our youth and younger adults. We really do need that. We need to create skate parks and bikes, and we need to have our developers provide green spaces and implement requirements for the developers to build more spaces, or to implement requirements for the developers to separate retail and add it into their buildings, into condo spaces for small business owners, so they can also own the property that holds their business.
Yeah, that's an interesting thought, the dual use properties. I think those are a good idea. I wonder that would be well to be written in ahead of time, and then get it sold to developers coming in.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is, like I said, I want to implement this so it will outlast me if I do get in.
How much commercial development is going on in Grantsville right now?
Not enough.
Yeah.
Not a lot. We're building homes and houses, and we're not seeing the business growth. You go to get a burger and you wait in line for a half hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
How easy is it to start a food cart in Grantsville? I mean, like, is there a lot of bureaucracy and a lot of permitting required, or? Yeah.
You have to have your food handler's permit, and obviously permits from Grantsville, and if they want to travel.
You have to have an industrial kitchen, probably.
Yeah. The amenities, So yeah, it's difficult. It's a big startup. I would like to see us provide funding for small businesses, and develop something where we can work with the banks and provide that for our small businesses and support them in every way possible.
Yeah, I know I ran into that obstacle here in Tooele, and I will say this: if a small individual with a house and a basement wants to say, you know what, I want to start up a business, how do I go about it? You need an industrial kitchen usually if you want to do a food product, and then you go to the city council or the zoning and you ask, hey, can I have an industrial kitchen in my basement? And then they tell you no.
Yeah.
That's how the process goes.
Yeah, I was denied quite a few times for my inspection business, so it was pretty rough.
Yeah, it's hard to start businesses when you're denied permission. So.
Well, I know my business was easy to start, but my business has nothing to do with food, so maybe that's why.
That's good. Yeah, they were. The big thing is traffic. Where are they going to park? How is it going to affect our current traffic? Is everybody going to be safe? That was the biggest thing that I received, and the feedback that I received from city council.
Okay.
So you're going to change that when you go in there. You're going to be like, yeah, go ahead and put an industrial kitchen in your basement, park your car on the side, do business, be a little less safe, wrap yourself in bubble wrap, right?
No, we need to have those safety measures in, but I do want to support the small businesses and see them grow.
Well, that's a rough one. What year did you start your vehicle safety inspection business?
I started it. It's been a while. I started it 3 years before they ended it. So
you got 3 years, and then they legislatively ended the vehicle safety inspections. So that probably left you with probably hadn't made enough back to justify the equipment you bought.
I did. It was the support I received from the residents was great.
Yeah,
I was surprised, and it paid for everything. It was great, and
okay, good.
It was satisfying to be able to provide that in Grantsville.
Good.
It was probably more satisfying for the citizens when they didn't have to actually get an inspection, though.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
you know,
I mean, I'm happy I don't have to do that.
another trip to let the government suck at the teat of the industrious people. But all right, so go ahead. We've had you on here for a few minutes. Go ahead and give everyone your best spiel.
Hey, no. Yeah, I'll just hit a few of my talking points that I have, and
Go for it.
So yeah. I would like to provide accountability for the government for the communities. I want to ensure the provision of services to community in a sustainable manner. I want to promote social and economic development and utilize social media to inform the community of events and activities and socialize in that way. We're all growing up with iPhones in our hands, right? We're born with them. So we need to utilize that social media platform. I want to promote safe and healthy environment, and I want to encourage the involvement of communities and organizations in the matter of local government. I would like to create community councils to have that environment where individuals feel comfortable discussing issues that pertain to them. If you go to a city council member, you're not going to feel comfortable talking and discussing about an issue, but if you have community councils, you're going to feel more comfortable talking to your neighbor or someone down the street about an issue that's going on in Grantsville, and they're able to provide city council with that feedback. I would like to ensure services are provided for basic human needs, prevention of the shelter and the homeless, establish direct work programs for the homeless and individuals that offer same-day and cash reimbursement, and work on municipal beautification projects. There's areas in Grantsville that have been abandoned, or they need that love to make our city beautiful again. We don't have accessible food services, healthcare. I think we have maybe one doctor's office down by Maverick. Mm-hmm. I could be wrong. It's not very out there. And I want to create services that enhance safety and welfare for the community and create employment opportunities for the economic growth. Bringing businesses in also creates employment opportunities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, promoting higher safety standards and economic growth at the same time.
Oh, the safety guy's coming out.
It's got to be. I don't know. It's counterintuitive. It's like saying I want to take a little risk, but I want to be safe at the same time, while being liberal with your freedoms. If you are elected, you're going to have to choose a side, I suppose. Right?
Maybe. I like to keep you on your toes. There's good and bads from both sides, and you got to take the good and you got to take the bad with them both, and you can combine both of them.
How do you think the current council's been doing?
They haven't been doing too bad. I've missed a few of those meetings. During COVID, I wasn't impressed with just the passing of things and not having the video chat on. I know COVID was a rough era for all of us, but there was ways around it, and I felt like we were using that to put important things out of the public's eye.
Yeah, COVID was a swift kick right in the downstairs area.
Yes, sir. It kicked. I'll say it kicked all of our asses.
It did. Did you just hear the thunderstorm that rolled over the house?
Yeah, did you guys hear that?
It rolled right over the house. It was interrupting the mics and everything. And did you drive here or walk?
Oh, I drove.
Okay.
I drove.
I was kind of hoping you walked, bringing up safety issues on this show.
It's safer to drive in this stuff than it is walk.
Yes, it is.
Especially in flip-flops.
Well, Shelby, thanks for coming on. We wish you the best of luck. Broad message, a big message. It's a good one. It's thorough and important. And, I hope that I wish you the best. I hope you have a prosperous run down there.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes.
You guys have a good one too.
Yes, and everyone, that's Shelby Moore. She's running for Grantsville City Council. She'll show up on your ballot, and I've also, in the show notes, there'll be a link, but we'll go ahead and shout it out. You can go to her Facebook election page. If you go to facebook.com, you can put in vote for Shelby Moore or Shelby Moore for City Council, or Shelby Moore for Grantsville. It'll take you to her page. She'll have some information on there, and you will be able to contact her, ask her any questions, or pose any thoughts to her that you have, and she can respond to you.
Yeah, please send the questions my way. I'd love to answer them and give my input and feedback.
Perfect.
Thank you, Shelby.
Thank you very much, Shelby, and you have a wonderful night.
You too. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.